Hey everybody, welcome to my studio. Today I want to go over some creative elements that you can put into your songs to really help elevate a simple production or to add ear candy or creative, beautiful additions to your song that maybe aren't the normal or a little bit left of center, but somehow engage the listener. Also, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving away a sample pack with some of the sounds from this song. So the kicks, the snare, some of the weird vocal things and loops that I made, and also giving away the preset that I used on this song. So if you're a Helix user or HX Stomp user, you can grab this preset. It's all for free. Grab these samples, throw them in your rig, throw them in your production, and just make some music with it. Might inspire something. All right, let's jump right into this session. This is a song by my friend and artist, HANNA NOEL, and the song is called Details. Okay, the first thing that I like adding is what can I find that's a texture that just makes the artist go, oh, what's that? Oh my gosh, I love that. So what we did was we took what I like to, the first batch of programming, and this is how the song starts. This is some of the first sounds you hear in this song. So we have these vocal samples that lead you right up to where the beginning starts and the kind of the band kicks in a little bit. And then we have the second vocal sample that swells up all the way till she starts singing. So let's hear the intro in context now.
I still remember the time.
Great soft voice, and I wanted to frame it really well. So let's move down to the next major element that you hear in this, and it's a bass, actually. So I took a bass guitar, Fender Jazz, and took off the neck pickup and only used the bridge, and I ran it through a guitar preset, and I really just thinned it out. Some channel EQ, chopped the bottom off, a Pultec. Once again, chop the bottom off, and you do this trick and it actually tightens it up a little bit in the bottom. Boosted the top end. I wanted it to get kind of nasally, a little honky and things like that. Little compressor built in, Logic compressor. This is based off a DBX compressor, which is fantastic on bass. And then the SSL channel. This is my go-to, love this thing. Really just rolling off more low end and chopping off the top, adding some compression. I did not want this to sound like a bass, and this is what it sounds like. I wanted it to sound like someone's really old, broken acoustic guitar or baritone acoustic guitar that's just getting clunk, 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 just barely helping keep time. And so when we listen to this now,
I still remember.
so that's the intro, just kind of gives you that gentle pulse in it. And using a bass guitar really thinned out, just through a guitar amp, really nasally and plucked, and obviously with a pick, just so soft. I mean, I'm barely playing it, but because it's a bass, it feels bigger than a guitar. And it also has just a little bit more weight than a guitar. So anyway, it's just one of those things that it's a familiar sound, but it's slightly off. Familiar sound, but that's not how I always hear it. If you can get the listener to think like that, you're great. As we get further into this song, I'm going to mute the vocals just for a moment so we can really focus on what's happening with production. So here we go, going into the pre-chorus. right, let's take a look at a couple things. I needed to add some movement, but I didn't necessarily want to add another, like a synth ARP or things like that. So I found this. I actually don't know what it was originally because I took it and chopped it and deleted it and, resampled. That's the original sample. Put some EQ on it, some pretty radical EQ. Pretty radical EQ. If you're, shaving all that off, I mean, it's a big chunk of nothing, except for this one little spot here in the mids. Then Capitator from Sound Toys. I love this thing, and the Echo Boy from Sound Toys. These are just, go-to sound design. So now let's listen to that same boop loop. Pair it with the texture. Simple moves like that for transitioning sections. It's such a great way to add a little bit of energy without being over the top. And once again, that energy is something that you're used to feeling, and you normally might hear it with a hi-hat or with an ARP or something. But when you hear it with a little boop loop like that, and her melody lifts as well.
Help me to see all of your heart, God is in the details.
So, it immediately just empties out into this beautifully, simply plucked acoustic. I've got a center, a left, and a right, and I'm doing 3 different octaves with it. Super high capo, and then another even higher capo, and then octave lower of this part. You put it in the middle. Didn't align it, just really take your time and play it right. Man, it's great. And even included the little bit of in time. Little moments like that, it all kind of helps and builds up to just something special. So anyway, now once we get into the second verse, it starts to become a little bit more like a traditional song, except for the drums. The drums get weird, and I absolutely love this. So going into it, let's listen to all the programming into verse 2. In the mix of this, it definitely, it sounds kind of odd, which is the goal. Unique, creative. Let's listen to it with the full band context. So that little, it almost makes you feel like it's orchestral in a way because of the timpani or, some type of marching drum thing, but yet it's not organic enough to be played by a person. So if you know what that is, it's just, if you know how to make white noise on a synth, you take that and you just add a little bit of sub information to it, and I literally just with a little bit of velocity, and I was able to play that, and you get this great like kick noise loop thing. It makes you lean forward. It pulses the beat forward, propelling it forward, which is really great. Okay, so like I said, there's no pad happening except for this great patch on the Moog Subsequent 37. First of all, the Moog is the sound of velvet. It's absolutely gorgeous. So all it is typically this is a monophonic synth, so you can only play one note at a time, but I have it set up. I'm running it through a little bit of delay and verb from the Helix. That's all, stock delay and verb, nothing crazy. And it just sounds... So the minute I played that sound, the artist, just loved it. So I was like, okay, let's make that be the pad. I have this piano chime that's just solo that. When you have that much verb and as you can see, a little bit of decapitator, Valhalla delay, you really have to play it very, very delicately. But that's my pad. Piano's holding down a lot of space. So with all of those elements, there's no need for a traditional pad. And I'm really happy about that. Well, at the peak of the song, we've got these great, this great string library from a company called 8DO. Love them, they're great. But I didn't want them to sound good because everyone's heard strings. So all I did, once again, the Arturia Mellow plugin, which simulates a mellotron, and then a little bit of the SSL. As you see, SSL, I'm just shaving, or a little bit more top, shaving off some low end, basic compression. Here are the strings. Now with string programming, the great thing with this library is it actually like bows it for you. It does that beautiful arching bow thing, which I absolutely love. But putting it through the mellow and, just a little bit of other stuff, it actually just makes it sound a little bit more lo-fi, analog-y, like it was played on an old mellotron. This is without anything. We've all heard that sound before. If you've watched an emotional movie, we've all heard those things. Change it up just a little bit, and all of a sudden now you have this great sound that's familiar. Absolutely phenomenal. Love it. So guitars come in and they sound just big and beautiful, mirroring her melody. Ooh, all right, so let's hear that with the vocal just really quick. Hear how the marriage of guitar and vocal and melody can work together.
Help me to see all of the details. Help me remember who you are. Help me to see all of your heart. God is in the deep.
So that mixed with that electric guitar part, and that's why there's only one, and I did track it in stereo, but there's only one guitar part at that point, so I can get away with that. Let's look at the guitar elements at the end of this song. In chorus 2, as you see, there's only still one guitar happening in chorus 2. So when this comes in, that in itself is playing the pad role. It's consistent, it's holding, it's a drone. There's no need for a pad. You have one. So using things like that in your production, it helps eliminate track buildup and just sonic velocity and what's on the back wall. What I like to call the back wall, the bass, drums, like what's the main picture? Well, if you got too much stuff back there, it just starts cluttering up the whole situation. And so then your guitar player can't shine like this one guitar part right here. I'm actually digging in a little bit. You're getting actually, some breakup and whatnot. So this last chorus, so going into this last section right here, we've got 2 additional parts. On one side, once again, good and faithful. Big cutoff on the low end. I don't want any of that just rumble. There's no need. Good compression. Now this guy, this is the real winner. I love this one. I just wanted it to sound like a sense of urgency, but using a guitar to do that. Hand off to the right. And when you put that in, you don't realize it, but it is there, and you are getting this like no need for a hi-hat. There's not a single hi-hat in this whole song, which, I mean, how often can you really say that? Because I have so many other things keeping time. We have that weird drum fall down, you know, so you understand where the 16th note is happening. You know, you have all these things happening. We end the song kind of how we began it. And there you have it. Those are some slightly more unique, just different ideas that you can take and apply to your music and apply to your productions. And when your artist wants to be brave and explore new sounds and to try to do something different, hopefully, you know, these maybe spark some inspiration. A couple of these samples that I, pulled from this song are free, and you can grab them right now. Link in the description. Go grab it. The preset for the guitar, I will warn you, the preset on the guitar must be played appropriately. I didn't play super hard. I played with different level picks. Tried a lot of different guitars to get it to fit in the right spot. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Go check out the song Details by HANNA NOEL. Go listen and see if you can hear through the production. Josh did a great job with the mix and really just tied all these little sweet elements together. I just wanted it to be unique for the artist. She loved it. I loved working on it, and so honored that she let me take her song and take it to this level and put it through this type of production. So thank you, Hannah. Thank you all for watching. Go check out the free pack. Go get it. It's free stuff. Until next time. Later.